Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Interop 2011 show. On our program, Mark Weiner, who is the SVP of Worldwide Marketing at Virtela. Mark, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hey, thank you, Rich. I'm good.
So tell me a little bit about the company, please, as a refresher.
Absolutely. So Virtela, we have been a managed service provider for about 10 years now, based in Denver, as well as offices around the world. And what we've really been evolving to, besides providing global networks for our Fortune 500 and mid-sized customers, is actually moving to the cloud as well. I know a lot of folks here at the show, I'm sure you've not heard that before.
I throw the word cloud in every single interview just to make sure it's in. Every single one.
Well, just like your backdrop here, green. Everything's cloud and everything's green. But that aside, what we do, along with providing these global networks, is we take a lot of the technologies you see at Interop, and we provide them from the cloud. What Amazon's done for compute and storage, Salesforce has done for CRM, we can now take networking, security, other advanced IT, and offer it purely as a service to customers so they don't have to deploy their own if they don't have staff, or they don't have time, or they don't have space.
Or they don't have the CapEx budget.
Correct, exactly. It is literally CapEx to OpEx, and it's also managed versus do it yourself. So you save time and you save capital budget.
And what are some of the trends you're seeing in the cloud?
I see a number. I see, certainly a lot of environments moving from, dev test to production, seeing if not, sometimes mission critical apps, depending on the vertical, depending on the size, moving compute, et cetera, to the cloud. But the trends we often see from customers now are twofold when it comes in our area to infrastructure. Either number one, I've got depreciated assets. Hey, my VPNs, my firewalls, I've had these for years. My depreciation cycle's done. Do I buy the newest unit, or do I look at putting it in the cloud as well as having it managed so I can save that time in CapEx? Or number two, like some of the things we've announced in the last few weeks, are brand new cutting edge technologies, mobile device management, application performance management, a video. And they're saying, great, you know what, I may even have budget, I don't have headcount, so you know what, I want to do it, but I can't. Can I have it managed? Can I have it done in the cloud by a partner so I can still leverage the benefits to IT? Like my smartphones, right? We were talking about Apple a moment ago.
Sure. So in terms of how you go to market, it's channel-based?
So typically how we go to market is a few ways. We either go direct, and again, we can provide these services directly to our customers. We work with a number of carriers. We have 500 carrier partners around the world that we buy circuits from, that we also sell our services to. So we do that. Then we have major system integrator partners like IBM and others that actually do it. And we have channel partners as well that want to use our cloud footprint to offer that to their end customers.
And as this market evolves, what trends are you seeing that are going to play out over the next couple of years? Like we talked about at this show, how there's a whole bunch of hardware in their NOC, and some of that hardware is going to potentially not be here in the future. Will that potentially will we have an Interop area that has a big picture of a cloud and just some routers coming from another place with maybe a live video stream of the cloud-based hardware? I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, we actually, if you look down the hall here a few aisles, there actually is a cloud section at Interop right now. But I think you will see. I think you're going to see. I mean, I see it. I talk to, and I've been 20 years in the network hardware industry, from Unger and Bass through Cisco recently.
Oh, yeah, Unger and Bass. Yeah.
I was back when Ralph was still at UB.
Wow.
So I've seen things evolve from routers to switches to a whole range to application acceleration. I'm already seeing a lot of these things I've used to market and sell over the years evolve now to soft form factors. I've seen it like be it WAN accelerations virtualized, load balancing's virtualized. A number of these components, security firewalls, IPS are virtualized. So given those form factors, a provider like us can put that in the cloud, different business model, so to our viewers, to customers, they can now buy it on an hourly or a monthly rate and not have to sit there and deploy it. That's one of the key trends I see. And again, it's slow. If you look at the hardware size market today versus virtualized, it's a fraction, but it's moving. And I think with the cloud adoption we're seeing literally month by month in 2011, 2012, I think you're going to see this trend of a lot of this go into the cloud, either, again, hosted at your Amazon, at your public, or, at your rack-based Terramarks, or from a dedicated cloud provider like us.
So, being that you're such a company dependent so much on just cloud and hosted and managed services, Are you seeing the economy better than other providers? In other words, are things really good right now for your company in terms of sales? Or are things loosening up? How's the sales cycle?
Sure. I can say my CEO, it can always be better. We can always do more. But I think we are seeing projects. I'll tell you different industries. One, I just analyzed our whole customer base. Areas, I'll tell you manufacturing. Some of these, just look at the auto industry. A lot of these companies, for the first time, are really getting some growth. We focus mainly on North America, global companies headquartered in North America, and we're seeing some of that growth of these companies needing to grow. How do I expand my sites? I'm manufacturing around the world, or I've got sales offices around the world. So we're starting to see the growth. And what do they need? Number one is a network, and then number two, value-added services on top of it. So we're seeing a lot of projects, existing customers grow, and new ones just saying, hey, I got to get cutting edge. I haven't invested in 3 to 5 years. A lot of prospects are telling me that.
What's next for the company?
I'd say continue to expand the services that we can offer beyond networks. I mean, we have a great global footprint, Fortune 500 customers. How can we add more and more value? We just rolled out an infrastructure management service. So you don't want to manage a lot of that hardware, we'll manage it for you, even if you keep it. And again, what more can we add to the cloud so that, again, as you have new needs.
That's kind of like outsourcing IT then, right?
That's correct.
So then do you have a challenge in terms of how you sell that? I mean, you've got to get to probably not a buyer in IT, but you want to get to a buyer on the financial side or a buyer on the management side to ensure that people don't try to protect their turf?
I'd say it's still within IT. It's probably different levels perhaps in IT, and I can respect
right.
it.
So a CIO might say, okay, it's time
Correct.
for me to, because my healthcare costs are skyrocketing, my 401k match, my all the other government fees and taxes that you have on hiring someone. Now you can just outsource it and not have to deal with those things, right?
Right. Or the other thing, again, I think that's more positive. CIO says, I want to really keep my team, but I want them focused on strategic things driving the top line of my business, not managing routers and firewalls. And if I can retrain that team, get out of that stuff that was cutting edge 10 or 12 years ago, but today is just rote work, and make them more strategic, impacting the top line. Maybe they're looking at ways to bring services to market faster. Maybe they're evolving the data center. That's strategic, and let us take over some of that.
Right, using IT as a strategic asset, which the media has talked about how well that trend has taken place in the 80s. I mean, companies like Walmart differentiated themselves with IT and supply chain, and then in the 90s and 2000 we saw articles that IT was dead as a strategic differentiator, but I think that's, my opinion is that is so not the case these days, because there are so many different sorts of applications and so many new services out there that if you can continue to apply, and analytics, and companies are not mining the data that they have to improve customer service.
Business intelligence is huge.
So there's so much potential for using IT as a strategic asset, just based upon the mountains and mountains of data that companies have. And not just the mountains of data that they have within the organization, but on the internet, and merging what's on the internet and merging what's in the organization. So there's a lot of potential.
That is exactly right. Get in that information, make everyone more productive. Tablets like you've got right there. How do you make my
tablet, in case anyone can't see it here?
Yeah, how do you make more productive, leverage that intelligence, and again, if we can get rid of some of the day work, be it running that hardware, be it putting things in the cloud, to let IT and CIOs go that direction, that's, I think, how we can help our customers.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the program. This is great.
Rich, thank you.